Welcome to Q Park. It's MMBL action on Rogers TV. We've got the Phillies against the Black Sox here. Final game of the regular season. And with me, as always, is Mark Rowe. Hello, Mark.
Hello, Fraser.
How's it going?
Very good. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So what do we got going on here in today's matchup?
Well, tonight's matchup in Mississauga Men's Baseball League here at Q Park is a B division matchup between the Black Sox and the Phillies. Now, each team has their own fate already decided. As you mentioned, it is the last game of the season. The Black Sox are destined to go to the postseason. They've already clinched a playoff berth with a win last game, August 15th, against the Indians. They clinched it. They'll be facing the Braves. Now, the Phillies, they're going to a relegation game. It's going to be a best 2 out of 3 series. They are going to be matched up against the Indians that the Black Sox beat to clinch their playoff spot. It's going to be a best 2 out of 3. Both games are looking to stay sharp here, build some momentum to get into the playoffs or that relegation game. Should the Phillies lose that relegation series, they'll be dropping down to the C division. This league is 3-tiered with divisions A, B, and C.
Sounds good. It's kind of like the English Premier League there a little bit. For a little bit more on the season, we caught up to a player from each team, and we'll have a look at what they had to say right now. Here with Dennis Passmore, player manager of the Black Sox, and starting at second today. Just give us a sense what the season's been like so far for your team.
Well, it's definitely been an up and down season. We've had some great starts. We've been on the right side of some blowouts, and we've been on the wrong side of some blowouts. So it's been up and down. But we've qualified for the playoffs, so that's mission accomplished in that regard.
This is your second season as player manager, right? And what's that like transitioning from just being a player to also managing the rest of the guys?
Not going to lie, it's hard. A lot of responsibility, a lot going on in your head during a game, especially if you're on the field. So, but the guys trust me to run the team, and I thank them for that.
And this is your 8th season with the team?
Yeah, I've been on the Black Sox for about 8 years now.
Okay, and over the course of the 8 years, what's some of your best, fondest memories looking back?
Probably the guys that I've had a chance to play with, some great ball players and some even better guys.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, and good luck today.
Thanks.
Adrian Samadian of the Phillies, starting third baseman today. Just give us a sense of the season for you guys so far and how it's been going.
Well, you know, we had a little bit of an up and down season. We started off a little well, and we went through a little rough patch. You know, we're going to push for a playoff spot near the end of the season, but I think we fell a little bit far out. But we're still here having fun, you know, enjoying the game.
So what's the goal heading into the playoffs for you guys?
Well, you know, we're hoping to stay in this division. We're going to probably have to play a series against another team, and then hopefully if we win that series, we can stay in this division, and that's what we're aiming for.
And we're off. We got a 1-0 count here. Like a fly ball going foul.
Starting pitching today for the Black Sox, that is Ty Drost. We see on the mound there. Big number 44 there. He's done the bulk of the work for them this season.
Yep, Tice looks like he has about 20 more innings pitched than the next largest total. He's got quite a bit of strikeouts to go with that too.
Yes, that's correct. He's had 44 and 2/3 innings pitched so far, accompanied with 46 strikeouts. So pretty good ratio for him. We get to see a lot of strikeouts. He likes to attack that zone early and get up in the count against his opponents.
Looks like he can throw it so fast his catcher doesn't even see it.
Wild pitch there. You know, both these teams have been struggling all year long, so it's important for them to kind of get in a rhythm here early. That's what he'll be looking to do.
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, you've got the Black Sox, who they're in 4th place in their division. They definitely need that momentum because they're going to be facing, you know, a team with a much better record. And looks like we have 3 balls and 2 strikes, full count.
Yeah, you know it was coming. He put 2 in the dirt there. He has to hit that strike zone, the 3-1 count, and he was able to execute. So see what he's got for him here.
Ball up the middle, fielded by the second baseman. Here's a throw. He's safe in there.
Close action there. Good play by the second baseman there. And
I think the hitter recognized immediately it was going to be tight and just pretty much just booked it to first and worked out for him.
Good hustle shown by the leadoff man.
Pickoff attempt is pretty tight, diving back to the bag. Runner looks to have some wheels. We'll have to see if they're going to send him or not. First pitch is a strike. That's Jason D'Souza up at the plate. Oh, another pickoff attempt at first.
Yes, D'Souza having a good year for a terrible Phillies team with a 5-14 record.
Another pickoff attempt. That one was really quite tight.
D'Souza with a 452 average around the halfway mark of the season. He's got a bit of power, good eye at the plate.
There's another pick. I don't think I've ever seen that many pickoff attempts in a row. That's 5 or 6 there. Jones, must have some wheels there on first. The catcher's even setting up for a pitch out. Oh, that'll be strike 2, fouled off behind the plate.
D'Souza battling with 2 strikes here, getting his bat on anything to keep alive here.
Drost on the mound though, he can throw the ball pretty hard. So if there is a steal attempt, you got to imagine it's going to be pretty tight. Oh, nice.
It's a shot.
Well under it, and that'll be a routine play. Runner's forced to... Well, looks like that was dropped in for a single.
That dropped in down by the third baseman there, which holds the record, the runner on second. So good start here by the Phillies with 2 singles, 2 men on through the top.
Ryan DeMello at the plate for the Phillies.
Ryan's another one of those guys who played a lot of time with the Phillies.
That's straight up in the air. First baseman's camped under it. That's a routine play. Back to the pitcher. Out number 1. DeMello just popped up. Incidentally, is one of a brother combo on the Phillies. You got Warren DeMello and Ryan DeMello.
Warren DeMello, we will see starting pitching today for the Phillies. Again, another one of those guys who gets the bulk of the starts rather, similar to Ty Drost.
And that's a late call for a strike in there on the outer half. Larry Grant at the plate, former 2013 home run king.
This guy has some serious power. He demonstrated in that home run derby and multiple times throughout the season.
Yeah, he's a little bit disappointed on the second attempt in 2014. He wasn't able to win that one.
Great event. They hold it right here at Q Park once a year. Fun time. Everyone gets excited for the home run derbies.
Only guy they could get there was Grant over at first. The runners advance, two gone. So here's a good scoring opportunity for the Phillies. Javier Gonzalez is coming up next.
2 runners in scoring position, but with 2 outs. So this is where clutch hitting comes into play. We'll see what Gonzalez has in store. Looking to dig in deep here.
A little bit inside there. Looks like the ump was happy with it, and it's in there for a strike.
Both runners getting very large leadoffs, of course. They'll be looking to run on contact no matter what.
Gonzalez he's looking for anything he can hit. First couple pitches, though, I guess they didn't appeal much to him, but he's got to look to make something happen with 2 strikes. RBI's hard to come by for the Phillies, so this is one of those opportunities early in the game. Usually it's easier to get at the pitcher sometimes.
Drost in a bit of a jam here, looking to get out of it with another good pitch. He's been throwing strikes very well so far to start.
Little poke opposite way. Run comes into the score, throw to the plate.
And there's no play there. So a mistake there
Got
by
runners
Drost, as he let that one hang over the top of the plate a little too much. He was attacking it with multiple strikes again and again, but that one hung out a bit too high, and a runner was able to get some contact on it. Lucky there wasn't more runs off of that.
Yep, Gonzalez sticking kind of on his back foot, just staying with the ball, hitting it to the opposite field. Able to get the ribby. This is Warren DeMello.
As mentioned before, Warren will be pitching for the Phillies to start.
At the plate, not a bad average, batting .294. Ball was in the inner half of the plate. He just happened to get under it and just out of reach.
One of the nice characteristics about Q Park is the amount of space behind that home plate. There's a lot of area that the back catcher or third baseman or first baseman can run into to track down some of those foul balls. I would say it's actually probably a good 35 to 40 feet, as we can see on the wide shot here, between that backstop and actual home plate. A lot of area. It's one of the nice characteristics of this park.
I think that's a good point, and one of the reasons we see a lot of defensive contests. I mean, the fences aren't exactly major league distance, but because of that extra space around the plate, you definitely do see a lot more balls caught that would have been fouled away otherwise.
That's right. From home plate, it's 338 to straightaway center, and both corners are only coming in at 295. So
the 1-2 pitch, just low. That was tight. You can see Tice was looking for a strike there.
Keeps his calm, doesn't do any head shakes, but that did look good.
Oh, he's running on the play.
Looks
Not
like
sure what
it's
the call is there. It looked to be a foul ball. I'm not exactly sure what was going on, but in any case, that's 3 downs. 3 downs, so we'll go to the bottom half of the inning. The Black Sox have a pretty good lineup. Their first 5 hitters all have averages over 340.
This is a league that you have to be competitive in the hitting department. If this team rather has good hitters off the top of the lineup, they're only sitting 8 and 12 in the division. That just speaks to how better the other team's hitters are moving up the ladder. And to mention, this is the B division in the MMBL. There's also an A division that these guys will look to crack. That's the point of the playoffs. You're trying to move up the ladder.
Interesting thing about the Black Sox, too, that we'll see a little bit later, is their starting pitcher, Tice Drost, will be hitting in the cleanup spot, who leads the team in RBIs with 24. That's pretty impressive. Usually when you see a pitcher on a team, especially the pitcher that gets the most work by a large margin, isn't typically the best hitter on a team.
This guy just does everything for him. The bulk of the pitching, as you mentioned, the bulk of the batting, as we can see with his stats.
420 average. That's a nice looking. It's a nice looking number.
Leads the team in ribbies, as you said. He's got a good eye for the ball. He's just an all-around stud for them.
I mean, this batting lineup of the Black Sox, especially at the top of the order, is just jacked. So it'll be a tough group to get through. We'll see how he handles it. Also, as we mentioned, the sun is it's a hot one out there. So I wonder how that's going to affect the hitter, especially. He's just standing on the mound, just getting beaten down by those rays.
Hot indeed. It's been hot all day. The grounds crew for the city of Mississauga were here at 2 p.m. getting stuff ready for today's matchup. And the Rogers TV crew, dedicated volunteers, were here at 2 as well. And it got up to 28 degrees Celsius today. And they're calling for thunderstorms later tonight, so the humidity has been sticking around all day. It's just one of those thick afternoons, and it's already remaining here in the early evening. Currently sitting at 27 degrees with 70% humidity and a bit of a breeze that's pushing out to right field. The breeze is coming in at 21 kilometers.
Big hard hit gets through the infield for a base hit. Pretty good start for Brad Zanini, who leads the team off, coming into the game with a 361 average. Just added to that right there.
Yeah, Brad Zanini, you have to be careful with him. He likes to steal bases. He's fast. He's got a good eye for the ball. But did you notice he didn't try and kill it there? Just a little poke. And did you watch as soon as it hit the outfield there, it just died.
Yeah.
The grass has just been cut, as I mentioned today. The grounds crew was here at 2 p.m. But it's still long enough that that ball doesn't have a lot of zip or bounce. It just died on him there. Lucky to only get a signal.
What also impressed me about that exchange with Zanini is the first pitch actually went behind him. That's one of those just a bit outside pitches, and he managed to keep his composure and know when the ball was coming in the zone and get a hit, as we said.
Again, we see another pickoff attempt, this time from the Phillies.
Chris Ricketts at the plate.
Ricketts is having a good year, average of 417. Lots of hits. He's another powerful type of swinger.
And that ball gets away from him, and runner advances to second. No problem on that play. It's the thing is, if a pitcher gets a little bit preoccupied with the runner not wanting him to advance, he knows he's fast, he knows he might steal, but he gets a little bit too focused on it, and then when he turns to the plate, it's just the accuracy's not there.
Exactly correct. It throws the mental game off, and I think the catcher had a little chat with DeMello just to discuss just that, to keep their game plan intact and to be aware of that runner on second now. Important to be in command of all your pitches when there's a runner on base.
1-0 pitch. Ooh, inside.
That
Looked
actually
like
hit him.
That was tight. I was wondering if that caught the elbow or not. He's looking over at his teammates on the bench saying, I'm all right, I'm all right. Well, Eric Bumstead at the plate on the 3 spot.
Again, as you'd mentioned, these first 4 batters through the lineup, all power. A good start as 2 of them are on already.
We get an outside pitch on the first one there. Left-handed batter.
I didn't get to finish my thought earlier about the wind, as we saw some action and gameplay there. But for a left-handed hitter, the wind is blowing into his favor. Not a lot of wind. You don't see any of the flags in the background breezing that much. But if you get under it and put it high in the air, it might just carry out of the shallow 295.
Steal to third. Here's the play. And he's out of there. Nice throw by the catcher. And that was, you know, I'm not sure I would have stole if I'm the Black Sox, because you're down a run and a single scores you from second.
It seems a bit overzealous, but when you're a team that's in a bit of a struggle or looking to build on the momentum, sometimes you take risks like that to advance the runner. But I tend to agree, in that situation is not a good idea.
High fly ball.
This should be routine out.
Camped under it. The center fielder's got to get it back in there, though, to prevent the runner from going to second, and he does. Good play by the center fielder.
That's Brendan Callery, the catch. This brings up Ty Zdros, the pitcher, who we've talked about a lot in the early going here. Had a good start in the first inning there pitching, and he holds a heavy bat as well, 420 average on the season. And he leads the team in RBIs of 24. Like we said before, this guy just does it all for him.
Oh, big swing. That one he tried to hit a mile. Up the middle. Fielded by the second base. Great catch. Unbelievable to get that ball. First baseman just couldn't handle the hop. We got a run scored. And that'll go down as an infield hit.
Ty does it again. Maybe gets a bit lucky there, but you got to be lucky to be good, as the Black Sox tie it up. And Dross adds to his team leading RBI total with another one.
That'll be 25 on the year for him. Oh, snap throw down to first. Pretty good throw.
Back catcher's already proven he's got the accuracy picking at third.
This is Rohan Sadeko at the plate. Big curveball, high and in. 1-1.
There's one of those off-speed pitches we were talking about earlier. Seemed to be sailing a bit high, but dropped in the last minute there.
And that's going to get away from him, and the runner's easily going to get in at second. And because of the backstop, he's even thinking about third.
Yes, works both ways, that advantage. If it pops out, gives the infielders lots of time to play it, but if it rolls away from you, gets away from the back catcher, plays its hand the ugly way.
It's all about that defense. Always reminds me of Pat Borders back in the day. Blocking all those balls behind the plate. Big cut.
Good pitch there by DeMello. His Warren just blows one past him there.
Well, DeMello needs this. He's got a 2-2 count. Runner on second. If he can put this guy away, they're going to go tied. Hits it opposite field. He looks like he got a hold of that one.
That's going to drop. Sadeko with a ribby.
Hit and an RBI.
It's good power off field there. Finds the hole.
It's one of your 2-strike pitches. Just waits, stays back, gets the bat head out on the ball, and gets it in right field. Looks like the right fielder may have been shading maybe a bit too far to the pole side. Strike one on Burbua. Ground ball to first base. And that's the first inning in the books.
An eventful inning as the Black Sox take the lead 2-1 after one.
On 3 hits. Up for the Phillies is going to be Sweeney, Mulder, and Bruce. See if they can put some more points on the board.
Alan Mulder batting a .368 average. He's been doing well throughout the year. Lots of runs scored, good hits. Good guy at the plate who likes to really take his time and watch the pitches coming in and really taking his time with them. Makes him a smart hitter.
Well, what I like about his average is that it's 368. That's a good hitter, no matter what level you're at. But again, Drost out there is a beast. We didn't see him get the big strikeout in the first inning, but with averaging more than a strikeout per inning, we should see some happen during the game.
Yes, his aggressiveness is just through the roof. As you see it again, tacks with a strike right away, and with a lot of speed. He had to just hold on and fight that one foul. Sweeney batting left-handed. As I mentioned, the wind earlier seems to have died down a bit here.
That's going to go into center field. And a hit for Sweeney.
Drop down. That seemed just to sail just to the lower outfield there, which we've seen all the hits so far, except for the one that went in the right field there. All of them have been short distance hits, and that's all you need to get on base.
Yeah, they're both playing that small ball. Just get the bat head out on the ball, get base hits, good things will happen. First pitch was outside for a ball.
This is Mulder now, Mike Mulder, number 26. A bit of a struggle this year. Not finding that timing on his swing, which is hard for hitters, but this has been a struggle all year for this young man.
Inside for ball 2. Three balls, sorry, excuse me, that was ball 4.
You notice that Drost does not like to hold onto the ball for very long to set up. He's kind of got that burly approach where he likes to be fast with it.
And presumably throw strikes, but I mean, if you're struggling the way that Mulder was, and you're gonna get balls, don't chase. Just get on base. That's a walk is just as good as a hit.
Smart piece of hitting there by Mulder. Gets him to first base. Now there's 2 on with no outs. And
Showing bunt.
Drost sails another one there. Understandably, his timing with the ball will be much shorter when there's a runner on his delivery.
I like Bruce's approach at the plate, though, showing bunt, because you move those guys over. Now you're in a situation where you're more than likely going to get a run on the board. Drops it down first base line, fields it, and glove to first. Nice play.
Nice
by the
scoop
pitcher.
play. That's one of the MLB plays you see on the highlight packages. We get to see it right here in the Mississauga Men's Baseball League.
But he did accomplish exactly what he wanted to. He's just almost ended up with the hit as well. Right down the first base line, just died about halfway. That's about as good as you can ask for.
So Bruce does his job and advances the runners.
Adrian Samadian at the plate.
Drost has his work cut out for him.
Big rip at that one. Right in there for a strike.
He is not changing his game plan, though. He just keeps attacking that strike zone. Besides the Mulder walk, he's been pretty accurate with his pitches thus far.
A little low. The catcher's got to be careful. He's going to block those. We got a runner on second and third. Bad things are going to happen on a pass ball that goes all the way to that backstop.
Now, what's Samadian thinking here at the plate? He's got the green light to swing away here in this position.
I think so. I just think you just want him to swing at a good pitch. Don't rush it. Late call on that strike from the umpire.
Another good pitch by Drost. And there's another one.
Took something off that one. Pulled the string, a little bit of a curveball, and he struck him out. Nice pitch. We'll take a look at this ball. Just drop at the end. And swung right through it.
Swings right over that pitch. And Drost gets his first strikeout of the evening.
Brandon Calorie on the mound. Sorry, at the dish. And that will be just outside for a ball.
Calorie in a similar position that we were talking about with Mulder, who kept on it and was patient and got on base. Another guy not really known for powering the ball at all and having another struggling season at the plate. So he'll be looking to be smart up here in this position and keep alive. 2 guys in scoring position with 0 outs here. They'll be looking to not let Dross get the better of him here.
The 1-2 count. Here's Dross working away. Sets. Oh.
That's
Calorie
all.
steps out.
We
He's got a pretty quick pace. Dross on the mound. Then when he's taking too much time, the batters notice it more and want to get out of there and have a think. So
all part of the mental game of baseball.
that gets away from him. One runner scores.
And they'll get that on the wild pitch by the pitcher there.
So an error will be charged to the Black Sox. Run scored. Pretty good turn of events for the Phillies, considering they've got batter up with 2 strikes on him.
We'll see Dross's character here, if that will rattle him or if he can shake it off here. Still not in a bad position from where he was.
Just outside, and you can tell he actually wanted that call. That was a close one.
He needs to keep his composure here and just get out of this inning. 1 strike away.
It just stays alive. Just got a piece of that one to foul it back. Looked like a fastball upstairs.
Good battle here between Calorie and Drost.
If I'm Calorie right now, I might be thinking, based on what happened earlier in the inning, he's going to drop one of those off-speed pitches again. But you got to be ready for that fastball.
I think that might be part of the reason he stepped out earlier on.
So Calorie showing good resolve and patience there at the plate. Had 2 strikes, fouled off a pitch, and just kept patient. Didn't chase anything bad.
No, gets the walk. It's another smart at-bat here by the Phillies. That'll bring up Jamoke Johnson.
Outside. Dross getting a little frustrated. He's got to know that he had this inning in the books, basically. Oh, the rundown. And we got a chopper down to the shortstop, fielded by the pitcher, and he's got nothing. Nowhere to go. Run scores.
Drost hustled after the hit, but just couldn't get there in time.
Got a runner on first and third. That was basically the equivalent of a nice bunt when it turned out to be. The ball just died. Pitcher fielded it, was thinking about going to third. It just wouldn't have been there. And we got wheels down at first, so there was nothing over there too.
I apologize. That was actually Jones, Derek Jones, at his second at-bat. That was not Jamoke Johnson. He has been scratched from the game. I just got confused there because Jamoke
D'Souza with the play down. They get the force out at second, and that'll do it. So pretty good game. But in a team, especially a team that struggled a little bit, that's one of the best things you can do is just get off to a great start, just what the doctor ordered.
Jones was batting .393 average, but the stat that impresses you the most is how many times he's been walked. He just has a very good eye for the ball, but today, getting it done with the bats.
Lester Borbua at the plate.
Lester with a good average, batting .350 so far this year.
Big swing and a miss on that one. Outside in the dirt. Borbua is batting around .350 on the season, so definitely a good eye up there. He's got to be thinking fastball. High and outside. We have a full count. Grounded towards the third base line, fielded by the shortstop. Over the throw is good and out of there. Nice job by the shortstop to gather that up and get off a quick throw down the line. First pitch. Fouled back for strike one. Jeff Sutherland also batting .350 on the year. It's Black Sox just up and down the order seem to have a lot of strength in their average numbers. Way inside.
I did it, and he told me to just follow it there.
And chases a high fastball for strike two.
Sunderland having a good year, as you mentioned, with the average. He also helps out in the RBI department. Gets on base, likes to contribute offensively with the bat.
Oh, got a hold of that one, pounded it out to left center field. The ball is back to the fence, fielded by the left fielder, Grant, who throws it in, and he's in there with a double.
Double standing up. Good shot all the way to the wall there. Again, another one of those balls that was left just a bit too high right over the plate. And he's able to connect on that one and send it all the way to the wall for a stand-up double. Good start for Sunderland.
That was a good piece of hitting. What I liked about that is he saw it the whole way. You could tell his eyes just lit up. He was waiting for that pitch and gave it a nice rip out there into left.
Carlos Molina steps in, batting with a .200 average. Numbers look good across the board. He likes to swing at the ball for sure. We'll see what he does here against DeMello. If he'll wait, be a bit more patient, wait for another one of those balls too high in the zone right across the plate for him.
I think DeMello's got a pretty tricky off-speed pitches working tonight, and I've seen the Black Sox hitters kind of zone in and try to key in on that fastball. Say, forget about the rest where we don't seem to be hitting it very well. We're probably going to get a couple of fastballs per batter, so let's focus in on that. Just as I say that, though, you get a big swing at a curveball for strike two.
Yeah, he does have that off-speed stuff seemingly working for him so far. It's tough to connect on some of those. Fouled off that last one.
There's a sweeping curveball or slider.
Again, we talked about being patient up there, especially with a pitcher who might not be in the zone yet or in his groove, and it seemed like he reached out for that one. That surely would have been a ball.
But it started in the zone. I think what he's got going on, DeMello, tonight is he's got a lot of movement happening on his off-speed pitches. To me, that looked sort of like a slider or a slurve, if you will, and it just kept going and going and going and going and going. And look at how much movement there was on that ball.
You're right. It looked like it was going to go right across the plate, and it just moved in that last 10 feet or so. Great movement on the pitch there. And it gets a resulting out as a result.
Ball 1 in the dirt.
This is Edward Sutton. All smiles as he's at the plate there. Back-to-back inside pitches.
Second one just cut a part of the plate. I don't think Ed loved that call, but here we are at 1-1. He's got a runner on second with 2 outs, so anything will score. A single will score the runner. That's just, look at the movement on that curveball. That almost caught. It did catch the plate.
It looked like Sutton for a second there. Thought he may have been hit with that ball.
I thought he might have been hit with that ball.
He put his elbow up as if almost to get nicked by it, and it just came all the way back.
And he just punches him out there. Once you've seen the big hook, the second time, no, that's not going to hit me, but then it just fell right in the dirt, and that was a great sequence of a couple pitches by DeMello there.
DeMello finding the off-speed pitches. They're working for him. And that's it. And for his first strikeout, it was a very nice one with some off-speed action.
Indeed.
Gorgeous night here in Q Park. Humidity aside, it's still a bit of a scorcher out there, but does not seem to be affecting the gameplay at all. Not too windy. It's a nice night for baseball.
Definitely. It doesn't seem like the type of night where we're going to see a lot of ball leaving the yard, but a lot of movement on the pitches. I think the team that's going to come out on top tonight is the one who stays patient at the plate and, gets the single when they've got the runners in scoring position and follows the fundamentals of the game.
Due up for the Phillies is DeMello, Grant, and Gonzalez. This, of course, being Ryan DeMello up first. He popped out at his last at-bat. We'll see what Trust will try with him here. I'm assuming more of the fastball pounding the strike zone, which has been the game plan so far for him, and it's been effective. Of course, Mississauga Men's Baseball League, they only play 7 innings, not the traditional 9. And the only other rule is that the pitchers are only allowed to go 4 innings.
That's right. Yeah.
So, as impressive as Dross and DeMello have been picking up their groove, they're not allowed to continue that momentum deep into the ball game. They will have to switch it up after the 4th inning.
Yeah, and I think that's a good rule, especially in a league like this, because if there isn't a premium pitcher on a couple of teams, they would just plow through the order and wipe everyone out, and it wouldn't be as competitive, as fun. So you do have a nice mix of nice pitching, but at the same time you get more people involved in the game.
That's indeed correct, and the divisions, the A, B, C divisions in this league kind of feed off that competition. If you do have a weaker team, they still can battle amongst themselves in their division to keep in it year after year. Interesting story are the Tigers. The Tigers play in the MMBL, and they started off in the C division. They won it in 2013, which then put them into the B division. Mm-hmm. They won that the following year in 2014, which now they're sitting in the A division for 14-7 record, and they're looking to make some noise in the playoffs this year.
That would be quite something if they were able to go C to B to A and win it all. I'm not sure they will be able to do it this year, but definitely a tough thing to do just to move up to the A division. As you can see, the Phillies, who are currently on top in this one, are really just trying not to get relegated down to the C League.
That's right. In talks with around the league, there's only 5 teams in the A division, and the Brewers seem to be the favorites this year. Very powerful team.
We've seen them on the broadcast. For them, it's all about just being consistent, defense, timely hitting. They don't have a ton of guys who can hit it out of the yard, but they're a pretty solid team with nice pitching. So, ball's hit right up the middle. into
DeMello.
center field, and he's in there. DeMello is with a base hit. So great start for the Phillies. I don't think they could have asked for a better start, really, especially going up against the best pitcher on the Black Sox.
Another hit for the Phillies. You'd assume the score would be much higher, but Dross seems to buckle down when he gets in these tough jams, and he starts out this inning much as he did last time, putting his first runner on. Good pitch there.
And that's the big hook. That's why you see the smile from the hitter, because he thought he was getting a fastball and just got turned around with a curveball.
That hitter is Larry Grant. We talked about him earlier. He's all about the power. Big average, big numbers, big power.
Well, not only can he hit a home run, as we said, the fence out in center is 338, but he can definitely put it over 400 feet if he gets a hold of one.
As mentioned, the representative in the home run derby. We know his game. Power pitcher versus power hitter. And there's
That
a
one's
shot.
out to left field. He knew it was foul right away. Out in front of that one. I think Larry Grant is looking for a fastball a little bit over the out and over the plate so he can get his arms out. And at the same time, I think Trice Dross pitching knows that, is looking to take something off. He's got him 0-2. There's no need to throw a fastball down the middle right now. Throw your junk, throw your dirt, get him to swing at something.
That would be a good plan, but it does not seem to be.
Chopper to the shortstop. Got it on the hop, over to second to get one, and no throw over to first. So they get the force at second, and Larry Grant hits into a fielder's choice for one out.
And
Here at
again,
the top of the third.
Dross just doesn't stop. He just throws strikes time after time, fastballs. And that was another one, fastball pounded in there, right in the strike zone. And we've seen him get caught earlier, this time fortunate to get the out at second. Last time not so much. It would be nice to see some of the change-ups.
Hammers that one into left. And fielded by the left fielder. And we have a single, runners on first and second for the Phillies. One out.
Which will bring up the pitcher, DeMello Warren this time. He grounded out in his last at-bat.
It literally is a pitcher's duel right now. Pitcher versus pitcher. That'll be in there for a strike one.
Pretty easy to tell the brothers apart. One's
Got the flow.
One's got the characteristic locks coming out the back. The other one, not so much. Ryan with the shorter hair.
Pass ball on that last pitch will advance the runners. So we have a runner on second and third.
And
one out.
And I'm experiencing deja vu. He was in this exact same jam last inning. As the sun is quickly setting here at Q Park. Pitcher's duel.
Sharply hit ball over to the shortstop, throws to home, and the throw was off the mark on a bounce, and we have another runner scored and another hit.
Unfortunately, you'll see in the replay here, Dross was shouting home, home, home the entire time, calling the play. They just could not execute that play, and that has been the story all year for these Blackhawks, who could be, although they are playoff bound, they could be higher in their division, better seed.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you go home on that play, you got to be throwing a strike chest high to the catcher because he has to tag the runner, rather than if you just go over to the first for the force out. So tough play. I can see where they're coming from. They wanted to defend that run. And we have a pop-up. Way, actually much deeper than I originally thought in center field, and we're going to get the sacrifice fly. A run scores. So it's now 5-2 for the Phillies. 2 outs, top of the third. And ball 1 on the inside part of the plate. That was pretty much right down Broadway for strike 1, 1-1 count. That ball gets away. It's another pass ball. We'll have the runner advance to second. And once again, the Phillies fortunate enough to get another runner in scoring position. High and inside. That'll be ball 3.
Mulder, as we were talking about earlier, doesn't have the best average, but good eye in his first at back as he drew a walk.
They're appealing for the call. And it looks like they gave it to him. It's a full count. Nice pitch. That just completely, the bottom fell out of that one. Nothing to do there except tip your hat and say you got me.
Good pitching there by Dross as he stops the bleeding. But Phillies do manage to score 2 and take a 5-2 lead. Started off the game for the Phillies. Started off a bit rough, but seemed to find the groove, really working those off-speed pitches, and that curveball has been deadly for him, especially last inning there. Able to get his first strikeout of the game. See if he can continue the momentum.
Got a ball there to...
That's Dennis Passmore.
That's right, got a chance to speak with him before the game. Second year as player manager, he said it can be a bit of a challenge. You're on a team for 8 years, and then all of a sudden it's not so much... Oh!
That one squeaked past him. That should be an error charge there to the third baseman.
But to see it again, but it was looked like on the lower outer half part of the plate. And he was able to hit it to the left side.
Good start there for the Black Sox. Veteran Passmore there, as he'll get on to start the inning off of a single. Too hot to handle there. Kind of handcuffed the third baseman there.
Pickoff throw was just a bit high.
Remember back to the first inning there. Just multiple checks to first, really keeping that runner honest.
Passmore does have a steal. I'm not sure we'll see him run in this situation right now.
No, let your hitters hit. Give them a chance to move you along.
Inside. They like that snap throw over to first.
They sure do. This is Ken Arter up to bat. Average is 171, so struggling a bit, but he's a team guy. He's got a lot of appearances at the plate, and he's got some runs and some hits and some RBI, so he is contributing just not on a consistent basement. Been a bit of a struggle for him lately here.
There's a big swing again on that curveball. If you're DeMello, you got to start wondering, maybe I just keep throwing curveballs until something bad happens.
Might not be a bad idea at the rate he's going. Also in this league, it's a bit untraditional. These guys are scheduled to have 14 batters in their lineup. So you don't get as many at-bats when you have such a large team. So as we creep to the bottom of the order, it might not be a bad idea just to try and blow it past some of these guys who might be a little bit rusty from not seeing as many at-bats as you would on a smaller team. The Phillies have almost gone through their order twice already, and we're still trying to get through the first of the Black Sox.
Fouled back and out of play. And we'll get set for the 2-2 pitch. Big curveball. That one was outside. Looked like it was going to go over the catcher's head. Managed to be a little bit low and away. Counts full. Hits straight up the middle in the air. In there for a single, gets past the center fielder. The runner on second is going to advance to third. Nice bit of base running. Runner on second had his head up, saw that the center fielder was looking to field it before he truly had control of the ball. Good heads up play. Once he saw it went under his legs, he just went down to third. Runners on first and third, no out, bottom of the third. Black Sox down by 3. And the tying run is at the plate. Number 19, Frederick Zalotti. The pitch. Looked like a curveball up and inside. Not much on it though. Caught by the third baseman. A little bit of a line drive. Get the first out. But still, the Black Sox are in a good position. None of the runners could do anything in that situation. So you got one out, runner on first and third.
This is Gerald Crisostomo at the plate. Again, batting a 185 average.
Ground ball down the line. That one stays fair. Again, the third baseman. The Phillies couldn't have asked for a better situation. They get 2 batters in a row to hit it right at the third baseman. One in the air, one on the ground. This one is a nice play by the third baseman to field it, get it over to first for the second out. And now the Phillies are looking at an opportunity to get out of this inning without surrendering a run.
As we look to hit back to the top of the order now, this is Zanini. Singled in his first appearance. And this is the guy with all the weapons. Likes to make good contact on the ball. Gets on base a lot. When he's on base, he likes to steal. He likes to keep being kind of that pest player, which you want to see in a leadoff guy. He brings it all for the Black Sox.
And ball 2. DeMello finds himself behind in the count now, 3-1. We had the runner advance to second, so runner on third and second. It's a golden opportunity for the Black Sox. And he pops him up. Right behind the plate, straight up, catcher's under it. Out number 3. And the Phillies somehow managed to get out of the inning without surrendering a run and maintaining their 3-run lead.
So Lottie was one of the batters we had just seen there, who was the first out of the last inning, flew out there. We'll see what type of stuff he brings to the table. Zalotti's played 13 games for the Black Sox this season. He started 6 of them, over 27 innings.
He's giving up about
6.58 ERA.
He'd like that to be a little bit lower, but I mean, in this league, you're gonna get hit, no doubt about it.
Definitely is a hitter's league. We see the numbers across the board. Everyone's average seems to be a bit padded in the hitting department. Tough on some of these pitchers sometimes.
I think one thing Zalotti's got going for him, just looking at his delivery, is it's coming over the top, and it looks like he's got a little bit of late action on his pitch, and the delivery's just a little bit awkward, is what I meant to say. So as a hitter, if you're standing there just waiting for the ball to come, the ball's shielded for such a long time, it might throw some guys off.
Yeah, it comes out of the hand a bit weird. And then also if the change of speed between the hard-throwing Drost, we'll see if... so Hulty has a bit of zip to this pitch. Tough on these batters to see a delivery like that.
And that'll be in there for a strike on the lower and outside part of the plate. Big swing and a miss.
This is Bruce standing in at the plate here for the Phillies. Of course, Bruce got out his last at bat.
Up high for a ball. 1-2 count. And he deals. Curveball in there for fielded by the shortstop. Over to first. Got him.
Good contact by Bruce, but not able to get enough of it to avoid getting thrown out at first base.
Nice play by the shortstop. Nice to see a routine ground ball fielded with all the fundamentals. Nice strike over to the first baseman and gets him by a couple steps.
This is Adrian Simidian, who you interviewed at the start of today's game, a victim of a draw strikeout his last at bat.
Well, Joss had some good stuff. It just wasn't totally consistent with some pass balls and a couple of walks. But you can definitely tell why he's one of the better pitchers on the team, because he had some movement on his off-speed stuff as well as pretty good velocity on his fastball.
Not just one of the better pitchers, one of the better batsmen as well, leading the team in RBIs and all that power. He's a big boy. And definitely the workhorse of the team.
Zalotti checking the signs.
Whoa.
That one just got away from him a little bit.
Ended up head high and behind the batter.
Yeah, he'll just have to kind of shake it off.
Definitely.
But it's almost unfair as the hitter. You have a ball coming right at your head, you get out of the way of it, and the next ball you're thinking... Look, he comes right back up and in on that next pitch and popped it up.
Gets rewarded for it.
So Zalotti not afraid to throw it inside a little bit.
Not afraid to throw it inside. I'm wondering if his command, if that's part of his strategy, or maybe it's getting away from him a bit. Certainly the last one obviously was a nice inside, but the one before that sailed well over the batsman's head.
Yeah, I think though as a right-handed hitter, you don't most guys really don't like that up and in pitch. There's just not a whole lot you can do with it.
No, and that one was high again, but this time sails outside.
That was right down Broadway. It's Brandon Calorie at the plate, second appearance.
He walked in his first appearance, keeping patient at the plate. His average says he's not even batting 100, but he's contributing with the walk. He gets on base, and here's a poke here.
That got right down the line in left field, fielded by the left fielder, and he stretches it to a double. So he's showing some wheels there. Good job by Calorie getting the bat head out there, ripping it to left, and coming up with a double.
2-out double. And look at him just turn on the ball there, hammers it right down the line. And again, we see the grass. Just watch the ball, bloop, stops.
Actually, a pretty good throw from the left fielder back in there. Just couldn't beat the speed of Calorie.
We'll go back to the top of the order with Jones swinging a hot bat tonight. 2 singles and an RBI. And looking to add to those stats here against Zulte.
Stealing third. And does he get him? No. So definitely Calorie is rocking the wheels.
Now, we talked about this earlier in the broadcast. What is the advantage on the 2-out to steal like that? From second going to third with 2 outs, you'd think you'd want Jones with the hot bat to keep swinging here. But it pays off for them. And it pays off.
It certainly does. Now we have Jones sitting with he did take a strike for that steal, and it was actually looked like a fastball. So I'm really impressed with Calorie's speed there on the base pass. 3-1 count. I'm not sure I would have sent him either, but I think they're looking at it this way. We got to be really aggressive, score as many runs as we can. And just for the simple fact that the Black Sox, you know, they have 3 batters with averages over 400, another bunch with averages over 300. I don't know if you can sit there and depend on a 3-run lead like that.
Jones with the good eye.
Ball 4.
Gets walked and continues his successful evening on base once again.
That'll bring up Jason D'Souza. Coming into this game, a .452 average.
D'Souza having a good night as well. He got the single in his first at bat and did the sac fly in his second.
Fouled straight back for strike 1.
For a team with a losing record of 5-14-2, the batting averages on the top of the order are very high.
Another run in to score it on the pass ball.
And that mistake will add
Runners advance.
to the run total of Philly.
The Phillies are now on second base. Another pass ball. That's error number 4 for the Black Sox. Zalati going back to the mound. Got to be feeling a little bit disappointed. He had an opportunity to get out of the inning without surrendering a run. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-1 pitch. Hit out into right center field. Looks like it's slicing more into right. And under it for the out, and they get out of there. So there you have it. It's 6-2 moving into the bottom of the third. 7 hits for the Phillies. Off to a great start.
And followed by Trost. All these guys hitting over 400. This is the thick of the order, and DeMello will definitely have his work cut out for him.
Although DeMello does have that nasty curveball working for him tonight.
So far, so good. Ricketts was hit by his pitch his first time up. Never really got an opportunity to...
Well, DeMello was thinking, I hit you the first time. I might as well just do it again. You're hitting over 400, so what's the point?
That last pitch was indeed very close. Good pitch there.
And that caught a lot of the plate, but I think Ricketts was standing fairly far away from the plate. He doesn't like those inside balls. He likes to get his arms out.
Stretch to the outside part of the plate. As it looks like, no, I thought they were going to call for a new ball here. Just a timeout.
Well, Ricketts definitely not someone who crowds the plate. Another big hook. Way inside. Ball 2.
He does stand very far away from the plate, you're right. Same pitch he got Ricketts swinging at earlier in the count. This time he holds off.
2-2. Yeah. You can tell Ricketts has power. He just sat back, waited for that one, and ripped it foul.
Yeah, too far ahead of it on that time. Too anxious.
And 2-2. Be right back at you. That's smashed into left center field. Ricketts has got a base hit. He's on. Second time of the evening. First with a ball that hit him. This time he hits the ball. So I think they're even.
And DeMello there, you could see that pitch also had movement, but he hung it up in the zone just a second too longer. You'll get to see it here. It just sits up high in the zone, which allows Ricketts to really get a good chop at it there and propel it to the outfield.
Ball in the dirt, steal, over to second, throw, safe.
Big man has wheels, and he shows them off there. Good steal there by Ricketts.
And we have the 1-0 count.
Runner in scoring position for Bumstead.
Low.
Bumstead popped out his last at bat, but is hitting a .405 average this season.
It looked like he thought that one was going foul. Stays fair. They flip it to first just in time. I think the hesitation there on Bumstead's part is what cost him the out. But I think that was an all-around awkward play. He hit it, thought it was foul. I think it was foul and came back into fair territory. Fielded by the first baseman and tosses it over for the out.
That's why they teach you from Little League up. You always got to run on those balls, no matter what.
Yeah.
Awkward play there.
But Ricketts advances over to third base. So we got runner on third, 1 out.
For the big hitter, Drost. He got a single his last time up and
Goes
an
the
RBI.
other way over to first, easily going to cash the runner and surrenders the out.
And yet another RBI for his team lead.
26.
26 RBI of the season. That is correct.
Ball low to Sadeko.
Sadeko steps in here. He also had a good first attempt at bat with a single RBI. Another guy with a good average who likes to hit big.
That swing, he was looking to put it in another parking lot on a different field. Put everything into that swing.
He leads the team in doubles.
Oh,
Whoa. That one slips from Warren DeMello's hand there. Came in very close to the batter. That one just outside.
3-1. The pitch. Whoa, inside. And that'll put him on first.
That will bring up Lester Borbua, who's hitting .350 this year. He got out his last at bat.
And ground ball over to first base. And all he has to do is step on the bag that's just a couple feet away for the third out of the inning. So the Black Sox get one on the board. And what's interesting here is just one less hit than the Phillies. But the Phillies enjoy a 3-run lead. Part of that's due to the errors, of course. But I think the Black Sox got to be happy to at least get one out of that inning as we head into the fourth and down the second half of the ball game.
Oh, for sure. And if you think about some of the jams that Dross got himself into earlier, you could imagine that score could be even more for the Phillies. At least 2 innings where he had multiple runners in scoring position and some of them not able to cash in. As mentioned, this is a hitter's league, and we're seeing a lot of hits tonight in this one. Due up for the Phillies, we'll see DeMello, Grant, and Gonzalez. DeMello popped out and got a single. Grant did a ground out and a single. And Gonzalez got 2 singles and an RBI.
Well, Grant was part of that high-scoring game we covered a little bit earlier in the season where he was able to tie the game in the 6th inning with a grand slam. And his next plate appearance, he was intentionally walked, and they ended up losing. So some of the people watching out here were a little disappointed he wasn't pitched to for his final at-bat of the night.
Good strategy seemed to pay off for the other team.
Zloty doing up for his second inning of work here tonight. Not bad, only gave up the 1 run last inning. See if he can keep the Phillies out of it.
There have been 7 pitchers who have pitched for the Black Sox so far this season. The majority of the work going to Drost, but Zolti is second on the team in appearances, as we mentioned, with the 27.2 and 16 Ks. And I would not be surprised later if we saw Carlos Molina, maybe later in the ball game. You would want all your guys to get a few pitches in heading into the postseason. And for the Phillies, it'll all be about gaining some more momentum for those relegation series against the Indians.
Well, Zloty's going to have to pitch a pretty good inning here just to keep the Phillies off the board so that the Black Sox can feel like they're still in it.
Remember, it's only a 7-inning game here in the MMBL.
That's high for ball 1.
As we mentioned, this is DeMello stepping in. This is Ryan.
It's another high one up top for ball 2.
Batting .314 on the year. As mentioned, he popped out his first at bat and got a single his last time out.
Three balls.
The sun has completely gone down here at Q Park with the outfield lights taking over. In this ballpark, there does not seem to be a disadvantage, as the only one really affected with the sun would be the right fielder. And I've yet to see the sun result in a fly-out ball. Sometimes those situations you see where an outfielder has to guard the sun.
Saw that recently in a Jays game, actually. It's in the Jays' favor. It's not an easy thing to do, is to look straight up and see, you know, the sun pounding your eyes.
That would only affect the right fielders here at Q Park, and now that the sun's fully gone, it's just night baseball.
Oh, Grant got a hold of that one. It is back, and nice catch by the center fielder, running all the way to the warning track and throwing it back in. I thought that one had a chance to leave the yard.
It sounded good coming off the bat for sure. And we'll see in the replay here, he definitely gets a hold of it.
This was a great job by the center fielder too, because he just ran straight back right to the warning track and then had the presence to mind to realize, I got to get it back in there because the guy in first is going to want to get to second right away. So puts a nice strong throw back in. Nice catch.
Able to track it all the way. Good play. Gonzalez now. Swinging a hot bat tonight. He's singled twice and he's got an RBI. He'll look to do more damage to Zolotti.
Hard hit ball down the third base line.
Having a little discussion on the mound there between pitcher and catcher. Zolotti smiles there. DeMello.
It's right down the middle. Takes all the way for strike 1.
DeMello grounded out his first at bat and got a single with an RBI in his second. He's got a runner in scoring position.
Chopper down the third base line. He's running hard. That'll get through. Runner on second going all the way home. And he scores easily.
DeMello picking up another RBI.
Another hit and another run.
Good night for the pitcher. Which will bring up Alan Sweeney. 368 average on the year. He got a single his first at bat and followed that up with a sacrifice fly cash in an RBI for him.
First pitch coming his way from Zalati. He deals. Chopper right up the middle. Big high bounce, way over the shortstop's head and the second baseman's head.
Got past both of them. They're layered up there. Both couldn't manage to get a glove on it.
Not much more they could do. He got pretty high up off the ground. That was pounded into the ground with a huge bounce.
And Sweeney continues his good night.
I don't think you can really fault the infielders for this one.
That seemed to
If
skip.
you watch the second bounce over both of them. So another hit in the books for the Phillies. Inside ball 1.
This is Mike Mulder. Again, we were discussing his batting average earlier being only at 143, but tonight he's had a very good night.
Yeah. I also brought up the fact that it's the same last name as the X-Files, a show I used to enjoy in the 90s. Ball 2 in the dirt.
Mulder walked at his first plate appearance. He's got 2 out and 2 on. Looking at 2 balls here. What does he do with this next pitch? Just let to see if the pitcher can even hit the strike zone?
Yeah, I think it might be a good idea to take.
That's exactly what he does.
It's a strike. It was quite low though. It was that was a borderline pitch. It looked like it was going to be kind of belt high, and it just dropped down to the knees. So either way, if you were swinging at that one, not much good would have come out of it. That's high for ball 3. Now is where, if you're Mulder, this is the count that you want to be in as a hitter. This is where typically you can get a nice fastball right in the middle of the plate, something that you can expect and thus hammer. Low. Oh.
Oh, interesting call there. I thought that was low inside personally.
Mulder walking over to first on his way, and the umpire says, nope,
Mulder thought that as well, obviously.
you get back there. Outside, walked him. That'll load the bases. 2 out though for Zalati. Zalati's really not happy with himself right now, but not the worst thing that could have happened.
No,
I think the biggest source of disappointment there is you had the second strike, and if you put another one in there, even if he hits a ground ball, but no runs coming to score, you just put a guy on first. So
Mulder has a good eye. That was his second walk of the evening. But as we were talking about, that second strike, you know, it helped the case for Zulte, but he couldn't execute on the full count pitch.
And because of that, it looks like Zalati's had enough. We have a pitching change. Number 42 on the mound. Great number, one of the best in baseball.
And just as I predicted, that would be Carlos Molina, the Black Sox third string pitcher. He's got 21 and 2/3 rather innings pitched, and he's got 20 strikeouts on the year. So, you know, this is a guy who knows how to pitch. He knows how to get strikeouts and pound the strike zone, and he'll be looking.
He looks like he throws hard, has a pretty animated windup, so we'll see what he can bring to the table.
He inherits bases loaded. However, he does have the 2 outs, so maybe keep it low in the zone. Nice fastballs. Try and get a ground ball. Any base to get out of this jam.
Well, and if you're selfish about your own stats, which you wouldn't be playing a team game like baseball, you know that every single guy on base is an earned run for the previous pitcher. But more than likely, he's going to want to help out his buddy and just get the K and get out of there.
And Bruce has struggled so far this evening. In both of his appearances, he's got out both times. But he'll be looking to be very patient here. Fresh pitcher in, he's got to execute and hit that strike zone.
This isn't easy to do for Molina either. You're walking into a situation where the bases are loaded. You weren't even sure if you were going to be pitching this inning. So he throws the first pitch high for a ball. Second one floats in there for a strike. I think that's all you really want to do is throw. You definitely don't want to be walking anyone with the bases loaded.
No. And Bruce's game plan is...
Oh! Way inside and he hit him.
I guess his game plan was not to get hit by the pitch. But he'll take it.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's that look when you know it's just coming right at you. What are you going to do? The only thing you really can do is turn.
Phillies will, of course, cash in on another run.
Molina deals. Nice pitch. Lots of breaking action on that one.
Adrian Samadian at bat. Also has 2 outs on the evening. He struck out his first time and he popped out at his second appearance at the plate. And it looks like Molina's struggling a bit here as that one is very high in the zone.
I think it's with its fastball. Interesting. All of his breaking pitches seem to be at or around the zone, and his fastballs are just sailing high. So I think he's keeping... there's another off-speed pitch. I think he's leaning back and trying to put that so much extra on the fastball that his front plant foot isn't down completely and his body isn't aligned properly to get the ball down. That's why his fastballs are sailing high.
If you put too much into it, that release point will be affected. As we can see, he sails it. Try maybe a bit too hard. Infield comes in, bases loaded.
Sharply hit ball up the middle.
That gets
Gets
past.
into the outfield. And in there with a hit.
So Samadian getting some action with that single RBI.
Yep, bases are still juiced.
And that brings up Callery, who has been very good this evening. His first at bat, he drew the walk, and of course that double his last time at bat. Molina again puts one in the dirt. Good job by the catcher to not let it get past him. Cash in even more runs.
That is in there for a strike. We've seen the umpire call that pitch earlier. Ooh, and he took a lot off that one. Fooled the hitter pretty big time there for the strikeout. Nice pitch. That will do it for the top of the fourth. Phillies add more runs, extend their lead. And the Black Sox have they're letting this game slip away a little bit.
Yes, they'll need to put forth a better effort offensively with the bats. They want to try and climb back into this one.
The thing is, with the last inning, the Phillies were able to get through the real meat of the Black Sox order. There's still some very good hitters coming up in Barbua and Sutherland. But to get through their entire order without giving up a run was pretty impressive, and that could be the difference for them.
They're calling for thunderstorms later on this evening. The humidity's now jumped to 74%, and the wind is picking up. Temperature's dropped a few degrees. It's 25 now. Still a pretty hot summer night.
Yeah, that's a much nicer temperature to be at for a player. When it's up near 30 and then you have the real heat factor, whatever you want to call it, and it's you know, at that 35 plus mark, that's when you have to start to, you know, you sweat more, you're more uncomfortable, it's tougher out there on the mound. Pitching change for the Phillies, number 28.
That is still a DeMello.
It is still a DeMello.
This is Ryan, brother Ryan.
Warren was doing so well. I thought they actually would have left him in for the maximum length that you can do in the MMBL, which is 4 innings. So now we're in the bottom of the 4th, and decided to move on. I don't know if it was his idea or his what his team was thinking, but whatever gives you the best chance to win.
This is older brother Ryan DeMello.
Off to a good start, though, getting in there for a strike. Right away, 2 quick strikes. It looks like it runs in the family, though, the big hook. There's some serious movement on that curveball. And late swing. Fouls it off, stays alive, 0-2 count.
Lester Borbua at the plate.
The 0-2 pitch. Up the middle, past the shortstop, and into center field for a base hit. Not bad for an 0-2 count. So that'll be the 7th Black Sox hit in the evening.
And when you get behind like this, as a leadoff batter, this is what you want to do, get on base. It's a obvious cliche, but you still have to go ahead and execute.
DeMello throwing strikes, though, just as his brother was. The 0-1 pitch. Over with the pickoff play. I'm not sure, but Borbua doesn't seem like the stealing type. Oh, that's in the dirt, and just as I say that, nope, he's still, that's going to keep him at first.
Might have to crawl a bit further away to advance the runner.
The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball down the third baseline, foul, strike 2. Way in the dirt. Good job of blocking that one by the catcher. In the dirt. Again, now we have a full count. Barbu on first.
Jeff Sutherland looking to take advantage here. 350 average. Got a nice double his first time at bat.
Big chopper up the middle. Fielded by the pitcher. Turns, throws, and not in time. So that'll be an infield hit. The couple of high choppers we've seen today.
And a great effort by DeMillo as he's throwing off balance, looking the wrong way, trying to turn that infield play to first base there. It's not an easy thing to do.
No,
and he almost got him.
It's like a Roberto Alomar play. Catch the taste.
It gives a bit more respect for the MLB players, how they do this, they make it look so easy time and time again. But we can see how hard it is to actually pull off and execute.
Here we go with the current Black Sox pitcher, Carlos Molinas, stepping up to the dish.
Popped out his first at bat. As we mentioned earlier, the Black Sox have a larger lineup with 14 players in it. So this is the only second time we've seen Molina at the plate.
1-0 pitch. Hits it sharply into looked like a liner right over to the shortstop for the out. 1 away. That was on the inside part of the plate. Didn't really get a lot of wood on it.
Advances Barboa up to third and Sutherland over to second. And in steps Sutton. Edward Sutton, who struck out his first at bat.
Pardon me. That was a base hit by Molina. We have the bases. Ball hit down the line, third base side. One run comes in to score.
Lots of action there as it got chopped right to the third baseman, and it was hard to see with the camera angles, but did he touch third and go home with it? The cameras only caught a big dust storm at the home plate as big Barboa came in full steam ahead and created a ruckus.
That was quite the cloud at home.
As we'll take a look here.
You got a real big guy that slides, and this is what happens.
So the throw's off.
But the dust storm is alive and well. The catcher, what happened there is the catcher knew he didn't have the ball. He just didn't want the other runners to notice that it went behind him. The pickoff throw to first, and he dropped it. Runner's going to get over to second, and we'll have another run scored. That'll be an error on the pickoff throw.
Passmore stands in. Singled his first at bat. Healthy chop at it there.
Another one down the third base line. Here's a throw, safe. Once he bobbled that with the speed coming down the line, I really don't think there was a chance.
Nope.
Although that ball was smashed right at him.
Arter. His first at bat got a single. Batting a 171 this year.
A 1 strike. He's got a runner on third. Potential to bring him in. Here's a ball hit to center field, and we get a run scored. And the runner on first advances all the way to third.
Passmore going first to third, and Arter getting an RBI. One interesting thing about Arter is that he leads the team in stolen bases.
Here's Zelati at the plate. Did well in 1 inning of work, and then struggled a little bit the next. That ball's down.
Now we're
But in there for a strike.
we're down to the bottom of the order now, the batting order of the last 3 batters, all victims of outs. Zelati flew out his last at bat.
That's low for a ball.
Interesting how quick the momentum shifts in this league. You just need a good run. A few tough,
Zelati fanned on it. The curveball. Lots of action on that one.
a few tough infield plays here for the Phillies. Have got them in a bit of trouble here. Some runs have scored.
Chopper down the line. Bobbled.
Again.
Another run scores. That will be charged an error to the third baseman.
That is the third play for the third baseman already in this inning.
And effectively, the Black Sox have closed the gap. They were looking at a 9-3 deficit, and now they're right back in it. Chopper down the line. Shortstop. Oh, over to 2. And he got him at second base. Shortstop elects to go for the force out. It looks like he didn't get it quick enough to try to turn 2.
That was Crisostomo. That's his second ground out now. Well, rather grounded into the shortstop for the fielder's choice.
Leadoff hitter for the Black Sox, Brad Zanini, at the plate. First pitch, in their first strike. Oh, inside for ball 1. Zanini tonight has shown patience at the plate.
Singled at his first at bat.
Pickoff throw to first, and he's safe. That'll be in there for strike 2.
The momentum has obviously shifted to the Black Sox. And Ryan DeMello, you know, he's still pounding the strike zone. The Black Sox hitters are just putting contact on the ball, and the fielders just aren't executing this inning. And it's been very costly for him. A couple errors, a couple of hard shots that the fielders just couldn't get to. And the Black Sox are on a bit of a roll right now.
Inside, ball 2. Full count. Zanini's not just going to let himself be an easy out here. He's shown that patience. He's got a chance to get his team right in the mix here. That's a soft ground ball over the second baseman. Fields it, throws to first, and he got him. And that will end the inning. So a huge inning for the Black Sox. They get a whole pile of hits and put the game within 2 runs.
Closing the gap. Bad inning for Ryan DeMello. But as I said, no fault to him, I do not believe. You need your infielders to execute some of those routine plays.
The one pickoff attempt was a bit of a mistake, but his actual pitching, I think, was pretty sound.
Right.
And with that, we're going to take a break here, and we'll be back for the 5th inning, where the Phillies are back up the plate. So don't go anywhere.
Again for the Phillies. This is Jones. Having a great night. Singled with an RBI and a walk. Phillies looking to hold on to this lead. As Molina looks to pick up where he left off.
That'll put him on base. Ball 4.
D'Souza's up. Got a single, a sac fly, and a pop out. You know, in this league, I wonder if some of the strategy is to keep a smaller squad. Keeps everyone more active in the game, more look at the bats. We already discussed that this is a hitter's league, so these guys are getting up to bat more often than not. I mean, this is the 4th time we've seen Jones tonight, and we're only just tickled the top of the Black Sox 3rd time round.
For sure. I think most people, you look up at the big leagues and you see people that get called up or pinch hitters. It's so difficult to either come into a game sparingly or only be hitting intermittently.
Hard to build up some sort of consistency if you're not active a lot.
Upstairs, ball 1.
In the major leagues, it's a bit different because they're playing every day, so they get more of an opportunity to get into those types of scenarios where you'll call in a pinch hitter. These guys are scheduled to play only twice a week.
Stolen base. No throw. It looked like the catcher couldn't get a nice grip on the ball, so rather than just throw it and potentially cause an error, he decided to just hang on to it.
And the speedy leadoff man Jones is all smiles as he picks up another stolen base for the Phillies this year.
Well, I'm sure that's a familiar sight for the team, seeing the man Jones get on base and then steal second.
The pesky leadoff man at it again.
Ball's in the dirt. That'll be ball 3. 3-1. Well, the Phillies picked a good inning to give up some runs because at least, as far as they're concerned, they're looking at the meat of their lineup right now. D'Souza with the tremendous batting average, and a man on second's a pretty good situation to have.
Temperature continues to dip here at Q Park,
Second walk in a row.
but these boys are hard at work out there. They are working up a sweat in this hot summer night. And Molina needs to settle down here and find that strike zone. You know, nothing's more of a momentum killer. Your team claws back in it, gains a bunch of runs, and then you start off walking your first two batters.
Stealing on third base, and he's in there.
DeMello
That's Jones with another stolen base.
Jones at it again. DeMello held off on that high pitch, which may have distracted the catcher a little bit because it was so high in the zone, and tried to gun him down at third, but not in time.
And now we've got a runner in scoring position. No outs. 2 balls.
Runners on the corner. And there's another high pitch. We discussed his last inning. Maybe just trying a bit too hard to place that ball in the strike zone. Throwing it, gripping it just a bit too hard, planting that foot, and letting it sail a bit high.
Ball 4. Once again, the bases are jacked.
This is the situation Molina came into when he first entered the ball game, and now puts himself in an awkward position. That calls for a chat, a little meeting at the mound as the boys discuss some strategy. And
I'm
try
sure
and get-
really what they're saying is, look, let's just throw strikes. These guys can't hit your stuff anyway. They're not going to hit it out of the park. So, you know, just throw a strike. We'll do the job behind you on defense. Now, having said that, Larry Grant is up at the plate, and he's the worst person to have with the bases loaded because he can hit it way out of the park.
We've already seen him go fairly deep. They're able to track that one down tonight, but we've seen it time and time again from this guy. He's batting cleanup for a reason.
And there we have a pass ball. We're going to have a runner score, and all the runners advance.
Puts the runners to second and third, both in scoring position. Grant now has 2 balls, and everything's going Phillies' way. After a good comeback inning from the Black Sox, Molina is struggling here early in the 5th.
Larry Grant hoping for a fastball. That one is called in there for a strike.
Looked just to hit the top of the zone there. Last minute dipped in. Good pitch by Molina.
No, yeah, and no reason for Grant to swing at that, not having a strike in the count yet.
Yeah, you know, if he's struggling, let himself pitch himself into some trouble. Good experience there by Grant.
High and outside, that's 3-1 count.
Goes back to that exact same pitch, except this time it didn't drop enough. It stayed high in the zone, breaking away from the batter on the outside.
Big swing from Grant. That's exactly why he has been in the home run derby
And the
a
catcher,
couple years in a row.
he fouls this one off, and the catcher catches it in an awkward spot.
Because he hits it so hard, he can hit it backwards hard.
And he'll be taking some time to readjust itself. Full count for Grant.
Chases that one on the outer part of the plate. That's popped up. That's going to be fielded by the right fielder. Another run comes in to score. That ball just dropped.
It looked like he got contact, but instead he just blooped it into right
That's
field.
gonna go down as a hit and a run.
And the big batter showing a bit of finesse there. Don't always have to go yard to get some RBIs. Puts runners at the corners. And Gonzalez is up.
Now, with another little quirk that they have in the MMBL is they've taken Larry Grant off first base and offered him a pinch runner. Now, that doesn't mean Larry Grant's out of the game. You're allowed to do that a couple times per game.
And it looks like we have another pitching changes. Molina is out, and Crisostomo, sorry, will be trying his luck. Not a lot of action for Crisostomo this year for the Black Sox.
It's like more of a closer type with that innings pitch being the same amount as games.
Got some strikeout abilities, but he has an ERA over 10. He'll be looking to improve on that number tonight. And his first batter will be Gonzalez, who has an average of 259. In tonight's game, he got a single with an RBI, another single, and then was out his last turn at bat. See what he has in store for the struggling Black Sox pitcher. Crisostomo.
The 1-0 pitch. Checks runner at first.
Black Sox got within 2 runs of the Phillies, but Molina gave up another 2 runs here with no outs, which brings in Crisostomo.
Crisostomo, couple of balls up in the zone. He'll need to settle down and throw strikes. Another pass ball. We have another error, and another run is going to come in to score. And not the best start that you could ask for.
The Black Sox players you saw when he tossed it back to Gerald Crisostomo, they're just bedazzled. They just shrugged at each other.
Well, and another heads-up play by the Phillies because you had the runner on first go all the way to third on that pass ball.
Like we talked about earlier, there's a lot of room behind home plate, and they took advantage of it there.
And he walked him.
Gonzalez with a walk.
So once again, a runner on first and third. No out in the top of the fifth. And Phillies enjoy a 5-run lead.
Warren DeMello.
Outside, ball 1.
I'm guessing he'll be taking his time with these sets of pitches. He's been successful his last 2 times at bat, picking up singles and RBIs. Of course, he started off pitching for the Phillies, got a strikeout, really making those off-speed pitches work for him tonight.
That's in there for a strike. The 1-2 count. Crisotamo. Another pass ball. This will no doubt score another run. And the runner on first advances to second. So that will be the 7th error for the Black Sox.
And the wild pitches just keep adding up for him here. And to be honest, the Phillies aren't really doing anything. They're just letting the Black Sox keep making these errors and keep advancing the runners. Early mound visit, just to try and settle him down here. There's the veteran team leader, Dennis Passmore, going out to have a quick chat.
Ball's in there for a strike. And another pass ball, another walk. And the bases are loaded.
Warren DeMello getting another walk. In comes Sweeney. Whoa! Look out.
Another pass ball. And
coming inside again on the left-handed hitter.
Nope, nope.
ball 3.
How many do you got? This inning? How many do you have this inning? Three balls. No bunt.
And that ball was inside. Not sure if it hit him or not.
It did hit him indeed. He'll take.
Well, it was ball 4 regardless. If you're gonna hit someone and wait till they have, you have 3 balls.
Sweeney advances.
And the bases are juiced. Sneaks inside and just caught him on the hip.
This brings up Mulder. Walk, strikeout, walk for Mulder. He has a very good eye tonight at the plate. But at the rate that the Black Sox pitching has been going, he might not have to swing his bat at all to cash in some more runs for the Phillies. Whether that be through walk or a pass ball or wild pitch, or they're struggling.
Whoa, and that'll be another pass ball. Another run will come in to score. No? Pardon me, nobody moves on that one.
Good sportsmanship shown.
I think what the Phillies are doing here is if the game's going to get, that'll be in there for a strike. If the game's going to get completely out of hand, that they want to earn it themselves and do it via a hit.
And you know, it is the last game of the season, and both teams' destinies are already decided. This is more of a tune-up game for everybody to get ready for their postseason berth or their relegation playoff round. So I think that's a classy move there, not to run in on the score and just get a bit more feel for the game here, whether that be through the pitchers or the batters.
Swing and a miss, strike two. Counts full. And
the ball looked wide, but was called for a strikeout on Mulder.
that's right. And we have Brett Bruce at the plate. Got him in there for a strike.
Bruce has got 2 outs, and he was hit by a pitch his last at bat.
Low and away. Ball one.
That situation, not a bad pitch. Try and get him to chase for it.
Upstairs, ball two.
You see the catcher telling him, just settle it down, settle it down. And that's what he'll do here, take his time, reset, regain focus, try and execute.
Ball three, upstairs.
Again, another high ball. Got himself into a good start at the beginning of the count. Now finds himself a full count.
And that'll be ball four. And we know what happens when you give up a walk with the bases loaded. They surrender a run.
No question about that one. That was definitely a ball.
So at this point, the Phillies have 14 runs on just 11 hits. Things have really got away from the Black Sox in the last, well, this inning for sure, and a little bit last inning as well.
Yes, it's been pretty ugly. Really, since Molina's come in and onwards. Drost started off the game with some good pitching, gave up a couple of runs. Zulte held his own a little bit, it wasn't until we saw Molina, who did get a strikeout, mind you, but just wasn't very consistent. Got some poor fielding, some bad pitching, which has resulted in a setup for Crisostomo, who is definitely struggling in this inning. Walking in runs, getting himself in bases loaded, and now we see a pass ball again.
And another run scores.
Painful to watch the struggle. ERA over 10 for Crisostomo. And we're finding out why, as he seems to just not have the control tonight.
I think he might not naturally be... Oh, we're having a
Discussion here with the ump.
little bit of a discussion.
And Samadian has some choice words. It looks like... I didn't see the toss signal by the umpire, but...
I think he just said, "Get out of here." Might have been an exchange of words a little bit. What I was going to say about Crisostomo, though, is, you know, it looks like, as he gets that one in there for a strike up high, it looks like he's got a good arm, and he might not, you know, have pitched most of his baseball life, but the team, if they lack pitchers, they might say, hey, you know, we need that arm to get in there. You can throw hard. And he's just got to refine it to the point where he has more control.
Yeah, as we said earlier, it is a tune-up game, so there's really no harm putting him in there, getting a bit more experience as we watch him go to work against Calgary. I understand the strategy behind it. It's just hard to watch him struggle like this. Again, he has issues controlling that ball as it goes high into the zone. There's a good pitch.
And that'll get him out of the inning. So there you have it, midway fifth. Phillies just jumped way out ahead again on not too many hits. The story's been of late, the past couple innings. Some erratic pitching, pass balls, some walks, runners moving around the bases, and the game's gotten out of hand.
Due up for the Black Sox is, again, the thick of the order with Ricketts, Bumstead, and Drost. All of them have been doing their part, swinging the bat, making contact, getting on base. But they are in a tall order here against these Phillies, as both teams are looking for their final tune-up before they go to the postseason or the relegation series.
Black Sox,
The
strike one. It's kind of their I'd say they're getting down to their last hope here to get back in it. The meat of the order once again, and then it'll be pretty tough.
the DeMello brothers, the only pitchers the Phillies have used so far. Of course, Warren going the first bit, gave up a few runs, got a strikeout. Older brother Ryan on the mound right now.
Hammered to left, but foul. Yeah, if you're the Phillies now, after seeing what's happened on the other end, just throw strikes. I don't think there's really any other strategy. If you give up a couple hits, fine. It's you got to keep the ball in the zone.
I thought the last time the Black Sox came up, they really got the momentum ball swung their way and really did some damage.
Pop straight up in the air. Is the catcher going to be able to get it? Oh, he stumbled a little bit early. He had a beat on it. He could have got there.
He just tripped up on his own feet, it looked like there.
It's hard to turn around and go backwards. Because he initially looks straight up in the air. You see it kind of going behind you. Then you have to turn. Yeah, and then you have to turn, and now you're losing where your equilibrium a little bit. But good effort.
Good effort nonetheless. I thought for a moment there he maybe tripped over his helmet, but that was not the case. He stumbled and lost
Strike
balance.
3. It's a pretty good pitch. It looked like it had movement on it.
Ricketts strikes
Ricketts.
out.
He got under it a little bit. Might have been trying to hit it out of the park, which I can't blame him at this point.
That's Ryan's first strikeout of the night. And in steps Bumstead. Not a good night so far with a pop out and a ground out.
Inside for a ball. That'll find the strike zone, 1-1. That'll be lined down the first base line. In there for a single. Nice piece of hitting there from Eric Bumstead.
Gets his first hit of the night. Looking to start a big roll as the Black Sox find themselves way behind, down by 8 runs.
This is the Uber rally you need.
And what a better guy to get it going than this guy, Ty's Trost, who's done nothing but get RBIs his first 2 times up at bat. And we know he leads the team in RBIs. He does the brunt of the work for the pitching. And all around, it's easy to say he's their captain and leader.
Tice thought about swinging for that high ball and then decided, no, I'll wait for something a little better.
DeMello's doing a good job putting the ball
Pickoff attempt at first.
all over the strike zone. DeMello is. You see him kind of working the inside a bit, up high into the outside. For a batter like Dross, you can imagine he's probably going to try and keep it low and away.
Here's a steal, throw to second, and late, and he's in there with a steal. Bumstead steals second. We have a 2-0 count for Tice Drost.
And that's what you got to do. We saw Jones do it twice. It'll be interesting to see if Bumstead steals third as well.
That's in there for a strike.
Another ball there by DeMello.
Oh, and umpire rung him up.
And Dross strikes out.
Looking on the inner corner. We've seen the umpire at least make that call a few times tonight, so we can't blame him. It's the players should have seen that happening too. Big swing, fouled off. Strike 1.
Good pitching there by Ryan DeMello as we see him working both sides of the strike zone.
Well, to your point about the strike zone, and mine as well about just throwing strikes. Yes, and it's even better if you can put them at different parts of the zone, because that's the ultimate thing you want to avoid, is being predictable. But here he is ahead 0-2.
Yeah, a powerful pitcher like Dross, he might be sitting back on that fastball inside, looking to crank one, but he keeps him off balance there, working all parts of the strike zone.
Decides to swing for the high and inside pitch. Looks pretty deep, and it's in there. Center fielder picks it up and gets it back in. So a hit for Rohan Sadeo. And an RBI double.
Malafi.
It's low for ball one. High and inside, ball two.
Malafi was out his first time.
That's in there for a strike. That's the exact same pitch that he rung up Drost with.
This time with a left-handed batter, but you're right, in the exact same location.
Big swing. Two-two pitch. Swings, hits it out into shallow left.
Diving catch, and he gets it.
Catch from Larry Grant to
I
end the
can't believe
inning.
it.
To end the inning. What a catch by Larry Grant out in left field.
Malafi flies out with an excellent catch by the big man. And he shows that hitting is not only his specialty. What a great
he can
catch.
also make a diving play out there in left field. And that is going to do it. We'll end the game on that fly out to left field with the diving catch from Larry Grant to put it away. The game got a little out of hand for the Black Sox. The Phillies with that 7-run lead, at which point the Black Sox couldn't get it under that. So that's our final.
The DeMello brothers doing all the pitching needed to get the Phillies the win, as both teams look to head into the playoffs for the losing Black Sox. Will be going to the playoffs B division championships against the Braves, and the Phillies look to stay in the B division, and they do a relegation series upcoming against the Indians.
And that is going to do it for us. So for all of us here at Rogers TV, the volunteers, my partner Mark Rowe, thank you very much for joining us, and have a great night. See you next time.